Hey everyone, Mark here from Warp Whistle Gaming. This is the Classiq HD from Old School. I picked it up from Atomic Records. They were nice enough to give me a little lend of this to check it out and see how it compares to the old Classiq systems and the new systems like the NES and Super Nintendo Classic. This one actually plays old game carts, so you see I have Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World. We're going to be testing those out, seeing how they hold up. I can't wait to unbox it. Let's see how it looks. Alright, so I've got the box ready to open. You can see the Classiq kind of feel. Looks kind of like a Super Nintendo with a little bit of modern flair on it. You can see right on the box it up-reses things to 720p, but you can also use the original AV out if you want to hook this up to an old school TV. It comes with two controllers. I think that's one NES and one Super Nintendo. And of course, the big thing, it plays both styles of original game. So let's see exactly how this looks. So it looks and feels really nice. You can see the NES and Super Nintendo switch right here, the slots for both, reset button, and then right in the middle is the power off. If you look at the front of the console, you can see Super Nintendo and NES ports, so you can hook up your own original controllers to this, third-party controllers, and even things like the Duck Hunt gun. Around back, you can actually see DC in, so it takes just, looks like micro USB. Aspect ratio, you can go original or new, HDMI out, or like I mentioned, the old school connectors right there. That's pretty much it. It is very light, very easy to manage. Alright, controllers are out and unboxed. You can see the NES one right here, with just A, B, a little bit more rounded, definitely more in line with a Super Nintendo controller, but you can see the connector for the NES right there. Going up to the Super Nintendo controller, you can see it's much more classically inclined, has those L and R buttons up top, and a much more classic, straightforward feel, of course, with the Super Nintendo connector right here. The rest of the stuff in the box, HDMI, power brick, and your regular AV cables. Literally everything you need right in the box. This thing is awesome. Let's see how it plays. So you can see right off the game plays Super Nintendo perfectly. It actually, I think, looks very similar to what it used to on an old CRT. So whatever effect they're using, it's incredibly impressive and really makes the experience pop. You can see here how easy it is to switch between 4:3 and 16:9, and now you're seeing the comparison between the Super Nintendo Classiq and the Classiq HD. Now the Super Nintendo Classic is a lot crisper, but that's not always a good thing. These games were meant to be played on a CRT, and whatever kind of filter they're using on the Classiq HD really makes things pop. I love the look, it brings me straight back. Muscle memory was there, the visuals were there, it looked awesome. NES, on the other hand, was a different story. Now NES cartridges are old, some of them 30 or more years old, so you see a little bit of trouble coming up with this. But once we got it working, man, did it ever look good. So again, whatever filter they're using on this, it's not quite as crisp as the NES Classic, but it looks awesome. It plays awesome. The sounds pop. Everything just works. And I actually prefer this controller over the regular NES controller. It just feels really good. Now, it took a little bit of time to get used to, but you can see me kind of blowing through this game a little bit, and it looks and feels really amazing. I like the rounded edges, brings me back to kind of a Super Nintendo look, but it really works. Now as we go for the Warp Whistle, I couldn't resist going for the Warp Whistle, and as we do that, you can see on the right, again, the NES Classic, and on the left, the Classiq HD. I love how true to form the Classiq HD is. It's really impressive. It feels awesome. It looks awesome. If you are a collector of classic games, you like the physical cartridges, and you want to play some games that might not be on the Classiq systems, this one's a win. You can pick up the Classiq HD and other great gaming gear at Atomic Records.